Let's talk about a secret weapon that's usually reserved for the corporate giants. What if it could actually give your small or medium-sized business a massive competitive edge? We're diving into enterprise architecture.
So, be honest for a second. When you hear enterprise architecture, or EA, what's the first image that comes to mind? For most people, it's something huge, complicated, and definitely not for a business that's still growing, right?
Yep, that's the one. That's the picture we all have in our heads. We're thinking sprawling charts, big teams, and expensive consultants. But what if I told you that whole idea is, well, it's just a myth, especially when it comes to your business?
Here's the crazy part. Enterprise architecture isn't just something you can do as a smaller business, it's probably even more critical for you. Why? Because every single decision you make right now, in these early days, is going to have a huge ripple effect down the line.
And this is actually where you have a massive advantage. See, big companies are stuck. They're trying to untangle decades of messy, disconnected systems and conflicting processes. But you've got a clean slate. You get to build things with intention, avoid all that chaotic growth from the get-go, and make sure everyone is on the same page.
Okay, so how do you actually do this without a giant budget or a whole team of experts? Let's bust some of the common fears that stop most businesses before they even start.
The disconnect between the fear and the reality here is huge. We're afraid we need this massive investment in a team of experts. But the reality? A lightweight approach is all you need. You can start with just one person, maybe even part-time. The real win doesn't come from expensive software, it comes from the clarity you get just by adding a little structure.
And you can literally get started today with a super simple kit. I'm talking about drawing some basic diagrams to see your processes, using a simple spreadsheet for documentation, and just listing out your key apps and data. That's it. That's the foundation right there.
So here's the most important thing to remember. Enterprise architecture is a mindset. It's about thinking structurally before you spend a dollar, before you build something new, and before you scale up. The tools are just there to help you organize that thinking.
So what's the payoff? What do you actually get from this shift in thinking? Well, it's the difference between constantly putting out fires and actually, planning for your future.
Without EA, things are pretty chaotic, right? The business desperately needs a tool, IT scrambles to get something, and then problems pop up later. With EA, the planning is driven by the business and it's structured. You actually understand the full impact of a decision before you spend any money, and that is a total game changer. You can think of it like this. EA becomes your company's compass. Instead of just reactively chasing every new shiny object, you have a guide for your growth. It makes sure every step you take is deliberate and, more importantly, in the right direction.
And that kind of guidance is absolutely crucial for one of the biggest challenges any growing business faces: digital transformation.
This is how you go from having just a pile of random software to having a real, cohesive digital strategy. EGA gives you the roadmap. It helps you see what you have today, clearly define where you need to go tomorrow, and then plot out the exact steps to get there, making sure every single tech dollar is actually pushing your business goals forward. So let's just redefine this whole thing. Enterprise architecture, it's not about how big your company is. It's really just about applying structure to how you think, how you plan, and how you grow your business. If you only take one thing away from this, let it be this. You do not have to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. Starting small is totally fine. The real competitive advantage, it comes from starting early. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Your business is growing, which is great, but are you the one holding the compass and guiding that growth, or are you just reacting to it?